Hey guys, so recently I put a poll up about fabric and what kind of fabrics there are and lace details, and some people did show interest. So I wanted to take a moment and chat with you guys a little bit about some of the fabrics that we do carry in the store. So now each designer has their own blend of fabric and they all have a patent on their fabric. So a lot of times you'll hear the same names being called out, jersey knit, crepe, silk satin, but each, or just a sateen, like each one has its own patent on the fabric, so it's going to be a different blend. So that's how each designer has a different fit and a different look on the body. So like this particular dress is a stretch crepe material by Madison James. It's a very, very simple style, no beading, and many of the new dresses have this material on it because it's very clean, but now each designer does it differently. This particular dress and most of the crepes that I have are a little on the heavier side because you don't want to see anything underneath the skin. Like you don't want to see any marks, belly buttons. You don't want to see any kind of like differentiation in the body. It smooths you better and it flattens you out more when it's a little bit heavier and tighter. This is a silk satin from Pronovias, and this one has no stretch, but it is a nice thick material. It does have a beautiful lace embroidered detail on it. So that's two different fabrics. So this is the stretch crepe and silk satin, and you could tell it's a little bit more shiny on this. Also, we have this new fabric that came out from one of our designers, and it is like a butter fabric. It is super soft and matte, but it's not as matte as the crepe, but it's also not as shiny as the satin. So it's kind of right in the middle, and it's a happy medium to people that want a little more dressy look, especially on a wedding day. And this specific dress happens to have multiple layers of lining as well, just to make sure that you don't see anything through, because this is like a special clean look. You don't want to have any lines underneath. And I think I did speak to you guys about our Cool Touch technology in some of the dresses. And what happens is, like, this dress is a crepe material, and it has like really, like, it's very matte and it's very clean looking, and it lays beautifully on the body. But what happens is, if it has the tag for a cool technology, means that the inside lining on it, and it's cool to the touch, and it does have a stretch to it. So it's going to keep you cool, like on a hot day, especially if you run hot on a daily, and especially wedding days, it's very stressful and there's a lot going on. So this is definitely like something good if you do have it in the material. It's something to look for if you're getting married in the summertime. That would be beneficial. Next we have we have a lot of lace, but I'm going to do lace another time because we have too many things to talk about. So in this one, we also have the tulle. Tulle, of course, has no give, and you have to be super careful with tulle because it can get really fluffy. A lot of people don't like tulle because they feel like it looks too full sometimes on the bottom. But you know, if you do it differently, this one we have a sparkle tulle with a little bit of sparkle Swiss dots on it, and we also have ones that are a little more simple, just 2 layers of tulle, so it doesn't fluff out too much. And you can, if you add some lace to it, kind of flattens it out as well. And I have a couple other fabrics that are simple to show you. So I have a couple of these I wanted to show you guys. So like this one here would be considered, it's more of a Mikado material. So this is shiny and stiff. It's a very stiff material, shiny, no give whatsoever. And then we have there's different Mikados. This one too. So if you look at this one is a Pronovias Mikado. And it has, like, you can see it does have like a lot of stiffness, has a little bit of shine to it if you look at it at a certain light. but it is very clean. Has pockets, this particular style. And it is a little heavier because it's not as flowy, but it's definitely something that will accentuate the curves here with this felt. But the material itself is a little heavier, but it's very pretty, very matte, very elegant for somebody looking for the Mikado fabric from Pronovias. Next, we also have organza. So organza is like the sister to tulle, I guess, because you can see through it, but it's a little heavier, so it does have a little more structure to it. So if it falls and it flows a little bit easier than tulle does. And it has like a nice sheerness to it, but it does have a little bit more structure. And some of the words you probably heard before if you've gone wedding dress shopping is, I'm not sure if you've heard it, but it's called horsehair. So this material is called horsehair, and it's this piece on the bottom of the skirts, and it's usually wide width, about this wide underneath, and that helps the dress to it gives it a flare, so it does pull out more. If we were to cut this off, this dress would start to fall more and be a little more of like a flowier skirt. So there's different terms and different things that can be done to a dress. If you do see this horsehair, it usually gives a little more structure and more push out. It's common to have it like in like a mermaid dress, where if a mermaid comes in and then it kind of pulls itself out with that horsehair fabric, or if you cut it off, it would just hang a little bit more straight and flowing. If you guys have any questions about fabrics, let me know, and I'm happy to answer. You can send me a message or DM me